50 years ago, about the only foreigners in Taiwan were U.S. Army and a couple, missionaries, and a couple weird people studying Chinese. Because the Cultural Revolution was going on, and they were going to come and just make a bloodbath in Taiwan. They were going to kill everybody. I remember a couple times I was walking with friends in Dongmen, in the Eastgate area in Taipei, and the kids come out and say, 外国人鼻子尖尖. Foreigner with a big sharp nose. But there was this really nice guy from Ghana. He was here studying medicine.
Okay.
And every time he went out, it'd be, 黑人牙膏.
Hello everyone, I'm Ade here, and today I'm with the new video. As you can see, the background's a little different like usually. We're in Taipei and it's sunny. It's warmer than Kaohsiung today, which is pretty hilarious. But anyways, I was planning this meeting and this interview for almost 1 year, but because of the COVID and the situation and being busy, we couldn't make it, but we waited patiently because it's definitely worth it. So today I have a gentleman who 50 years ago, just to happen, decided to learn Chinese. So what he did, he came to Taiwan. So everybody say hello to Yugan today.
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
All
so
right.
What is your story? Like, why did you decide to learn Chinese?
Okay, I started studying martial arts.
Okay. That was 1960s. 1960s, wow.
Yeah, I saw Chinese writing, and I thought, this is incredible.
I understand now. We have internet, we have Google Maps, we use all this stuff. It's so easy. But I would say maybe 50 years ago, if I think about this, I would think Chinese. I want to learn it in China. Why did you come to Taiwan?
That was the Cultural Revolution.
Oh.
First off, the schools weren't open.
Okay.
If I had gone, I would have had a dunce hat.
Yeah.
They would paraded me through the streets,
Oh.
美帝走狗啊. That's not what I wanted to do.
No.
Yeah. Also, something people forget is at that time, Taiwan was a world center, highly respected for intellectuals and education and culture. It was world famous for culture and education.
At that time, Taiwan actually, Republic of China has a seat at UN, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
That ended about 3 weeks after I came.
Oh, really?
I'm not responsible, but
You didn't do
they
anything.
got kicked out just after I came.
Wow. So what was your first impression? Like, you're living in California and you moved to Taiwan?
No, because I went to Vietnam first.
You went to Vietnam first?
Because my uncle had a company and I was delivering pizzas
You were delivering pizzas
to the
Vietnam.
U.S. Army.
Okay.
Yeah.
You have quite a fascinating life, really.
At that time when I was telling, the war was going on. Every night you hear cannons, you hear fire, you hear people shooting.
Yeah.
And at that time when I said I wanted to come to Taiwan, people said it's too dangerous, stay in Vietnam.
It was too
dangerous. Because the Cultural Revolution was going on and they were going to come and just make a bloodbath in Taiwan. They were going to kill everybody.
Oh, they were worried about this.
Yeah. When I came, people were, there were tourists here and they wanted to come and see Taiwan before everybody got killed.
Yeah.
So my first impression...
You weren't scared of that then?
God protects fools. So when I came, my impression was, because from Vietnam, and you walk down the street here and nobody's got a gun.
Yeah.
And nobody's stealing stuff.
Okay.
And I thought, it's so peaceful, it's so safe. And, we were kind of like on the edge of a razor because it could go either way. Taiwan could have just been destroyed.
Yeah.
But at the time, it was just, the feeling is so peaceful and so safe.
Wow.
And, it was great.
So your first impression about Taiwan was very peaceful?
Yeah.
But it was very different lifestyle than now, right?
Oh yeah, very. Society was very conservative. Women did not drive.
Okay.
If a woman did not ride a motorcycle.
Yeah.
If she sat on the motorcycle, she sat on the back sideways.
Yeah. Like in old Chinese movies, like old Asian movies.
Yeah. That's how it was. If you saw two high school students walking down the street holding hands, that was a scandal.
Oh.
Yeah. And they had shiguapi. The women had to have the hair cut from earlobe to earlobe, and the boys all had crew cuts.
Yeah.
And they had uniforms.
So like everybody looked like an army here.
Yeah,
actually.
yeah.
Not a big difference than Vietnam then.
Yeah. Army without the guns.
Yeah.
So what I did was I went to the Mandarin Center at Sida and started working.
Okay.
And then every vacation, every chance I got, I'd just go way back into the mountains, you know, as far as I could go.
Yeah.
And it was different then because, you know, I think there was a lot more diversity in Taiwan then. I mean, you could tell the difference in accents from people different areas.
Oh, because the immigration just came like one generation before.
No, because, well, that too.
Yeah.
But also, I mean, because people in Taichung spoke differently from people in Tainan.
Ah.
Or you go into the mountains and, you know, they're speaking Taiwanese languages. Gaiyan, Bonong, Saisha, they're speaking the indigenous languages.
And now it's more uniform.
Now people speak Mandarin.
Yeah, all of these things. Wow, that's so fascinating, really.
Yeah, it really is.
I think you were talking about how the perception of foreigners in Taiwan versus Taiwan 50 years ago changed, right?
50 years ago, about the only foreigners in Taiwan were U.S. Army and a couple, missionaries and a couple weird people studying Chinese. What I really disliked was when you went down into Tainan, Jiayi, and you got back in the country, and the old women would say, "Ato, ato," and they, you know, like you're a monkey or something. Just no respect. I mean, just like a, you know, look, a walking pig, that kind of thing. Oh. And so that term has been, you know, it used to be only the old ladies in Tainan, Jiayi,
I see.
who didn't know any better who'd use it.
Like they never see, actually, I get it.
Yeah, and now it's kind of spread, and I really, really dislike that term. You know, it's rude. And also for me, it has, you know, these really bad associations. Yeah. I remember a couple times I was walking with friends in Dongmen, in the Eastgate area in Taipei, and, you know, the kids come out and say, 外国人,鼻子尖尖. Foreigner with a big sharp nose. But there was this really nice guy from Ghana. He was here studying medicine. Okay. And every time he went out, I mean, it'd be, 黑人牙膏. You know, because in those days, it was called Darky toothpaste.
They changed the name recently.
Commercials was really, really racist.
Yes.
You know.
I mean, you wouldn't think about this racist, like, you know, like time ago. Like, you know, even in Poland, like maybe, you know, 100 years ago, we had a poetry about a black boy from Africa, and it's like for kids. It's a story about, oh, if you come to Africa, you're gonna have a friend who climbs trees and eat bananas. I know this sounds very racist right now, and at the end of the story, it's 100 years ago written, right? So somebody wrote, but just be careful, you know, our you know, black friend, don't take a bath because you're gonna look like us. It's a joke, obviously. It's a joke. But it's different 100 years ago, you know? It also, so like Poland is also kind of like homogeneous society. So like most people actually look kind of similar like me, but obviously there's more and more immigration. So like maybe I have a friend who's like, you know, who was raised and born in Poland, but his dad comes from Palestine. So he is, now he looks like, you know, like Ed Murphy, basically, you know, like a mix between, right? But like, you know, like when he was like growing up, he was like 5 years old. He would go to like some Poland countryside. One time he told me, like, he was like passing, but it was like an old ladies passing like somewhere in country, and they look at him like, oh my God, that's a devil, that's a devil. They do the cross.
There was this really, again, a really nice guy named Rashid from the Maldives. You know, he was sent here to study public hygiene. So we went down to Zhanghua, and there was this temple that had just opened, Dao Miao, a Taoist temple, and they had these scenes from hell. And my God, the demon looked just like Rashid. I mean, I looked at the painting, and I looked at Rashid, and he looked at the painting.
Yeah, it's very interesting. But the good thing, obviously, this is past, right? In most cases, obviously,
the mural is probably still there. This was in the dormitory. The first day in the women's dormitory, one of the people in our class was with the girl from Hong Kong. And the first night, the girl from Hong Kong came in and said, 你去死. I said, 什么? 她说你去死. you know, what have I done? You know, what have I done? What? And she said, 你讲什么？她说有热水啊，我刚死过啊，你去死啊。You know, she. And she was pronouncing it.
Yeah. So impolite.
One time was really funny, but it's kind of too difficult to explain. Also, I live in the mountains.
Okay.
And one time I got a feeling to go out. You know, in my place, if you don't know where it is, you don't find it.
Okay.
And so one night I just felt like going out for a walk. So I got my knife and my dogs and a spear and went out for a walk. And there's a road up there.
Yeah.
And it was Sunday night, and I could hear motorcycles coming down. Obviously people who didn't know the road. And I figured it was tourists. And so I figured, even in the daytime, if I don't want you to see me in the mountains, you're not going to see me. And I figured at night, all I have to do is just stand. I tell my dogs to sit. And just stand there with my spear and my knife, and nobody will see me. And, it was great. The thing I neglected, so there I'm just standing there, totally dead, just standing there. What I forgot was that the road goes this way.
Yeah.
And so these guys coming out of the mountains, in this place, miles from any building, you see this guy with a headhunting knife standing there. And it was really funny because every motorcycle came really slowed down and went speeding down. About 6 of them were going. I was thinking when they got back to, 看到了吗？你看到了吗？你有看到吗？
It's like a scene from the horror movie.
Because, I was standing in the shadows, and if it had been a straight side of the road, they just would never have seen me. But it's just, I forgot that the road turns. And so I was right in their headlights.
I think they might have like some.
They probably went back to a temple.
So what do you think about the temples in Taiwan? Because, Taiwan changed a lot, and lots of traditions now, for example, like in the north, like burning money and making noise, fireworks is getting more and more forbidden. And in the south, it's still okay, but it's I kind of have a feeling it's slowly changing to environment-friendly solutions. But what do you think gonna happen with this, all this, folk culture? Because Taiwan is the only place basically in the world where they really keep it in this way.
Culture has to adapt or die out. So, in Taipei, they used to have the fireworks all the time, and you just get, paper all over the ground and the air quality and everything.
So you think like they're gonna download the apps to burn ghost money one day?
Yeah.
How you feel with that?
Great.
From all your experience in Taiwan, you haven't visited one island so far, is that right?
Actually, Guishan, Lüdao, Lanyu.
That's quite a lot. You still have places to go. So can the audience help us? Which of those places are really must go from those 3?
Guishan Dao, Lüdao, Lanyu. Which one?
Which one you should definitely go? This is very interesting because usually Weigoran shouldn't talk about this one, but he's an expert on lots of Chinese and Confucianism. So if anybody has questions, make sure you write a comment below, and you're gonna maybe learn something. And if you want to learn even more, you should follow Yugan on his social media, right? Where can people find you?
Yangxing 文艺学堂.
Thank you very much for watching. I hope you guys enjoy. Make sure you subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.